Greetings everyone. In previous videos you saw footage of my family touring Martin Station in Western Virginia and then hiking through the Cumberland Gap into Kentucky. Continuing on this historical route, our next stop was at Fort Boonesborough State Park in Richmond, Kentucky. Boonesborough was founded by Daniel Boone in 1775 and was one of the first English-speaking settlements west of the Appalachian Mountains. Boonesborough was also the site of two remarkable events from our nation's history. The first occurred in July of 1776. Daniel Boone's daughter Jemima and two other girls were captured by Cherokee and Shawnee Indians while playing in the nearby Kentucky River. After becoming aware of their abduction, Boone led a rescue party to recover the girls. One of the more interesting facets of this story is that Jemima left a trail for her father by breaking limbs along the path. This may sound familiar, as the event inspired American novelist James Fenimore Cooper, who portrayed something similar in his famous book The Last of the Mohicans. After a 3-day pursuit, Boone and the other members of the party attacked the Indian captors and rescued the girls. The other significant event that took place at Boonesborough was a siege in 1778. In February of that year, Boone and many other men from the settlement were captured by British allied Indians while making salt at the Licking River. Boone was forced to run the gauntlet and was eventually adopted by the Shawnee chief Blackfish. The other prisoners were taken to Fort Detroit and sold to the British. Boone became known as Sheltowee and lived for many months as Blackfish's son. However, when he learned that the British and their Indian allies were planning to attack Boonesborough, he escaped. Boone heroically covered over 160 miles in just a few days to warn the settlement of the impending attack. Some of the settlers were suspicious of Boone, but his insistence on being prepared for the attack proved his loyalty. In September, over 450 native and white soldiers commanded by Blackfish arrived at Boonesborough. There were only about 40 armed men inside the fort, and some of the women were forced to take part in the fighting that ensued. Through 10 days of fighting, the settlers defended the fort successfully, repelling several assaults and only suffering 2 killed and 4 wounded. The attackers had even attempted to burn down the fort, but providential rains quenched the fire. Blackfish's troops withdrew, having suffered 37 killed. After the siege, some of the other officers brought charges against Boone, believing that he had conspired with Blackfish and the British Army. However, the court-martial proceedings found Boone not guilty. Instead, he was recognized as a hero and even promoted for his actions. Today, Fort Boonesborough has been recreated as a living history museum. Join us as we tour this state park. Hey guys, we're at the Fort Boonesborough State Park Living History Museum in Richmond, Kentucky. We're exploring Fort Boonesborough, which, as you probably know, was a settlement founded by Daniel Boone back in the 1770s. This fort played a pivotal role in the Western theater of the American War for Independence. So we have a lot of museum pieces here, also a lot of live actors representing people from the historical period. Let's go check it out.